So, welcome to Deb's Simple Life. I haven't been doing a lot lately. I started my channel maybe 6 months ago. Um, it's something I've always thought about doing, and um, the time was right. I had time, and so I was like, hey, you know what? I need to just pursue this and kind of go with it and see where it's going. And then I got a little sidetracked, busy, and haven't made a video. Most of my videos were cooking. I only have maybe 4 or 5 videos. But this one is definitely a little bit different. I said, when I set it up, I wanted to do, things I enjoy, whether it's cooking. I did do one video on patio gardening, um, but I wanted to also what's going on in my life that other people might find helpful. And so that's what this video is about. I am just coming up on 1 year of being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And so it was just shortly, I think my appointment last year was like on the 20th, and it turned out, I think, the 23rd or so, 22nd or 23rd, I received results on my blood work, my annual blood work, and I was diagnosed as a diabetic. And at that time, my A1C was 8.1, which was rather shocking. I had previously, not necessarily elevated, but pre-diabetic range, probably floated around that for maybe 4 or 5 years, I would assume. I haven't looked back because I didn't really pay attention to it. It wasn't something my doctor and I had focused on. So I was taken aback by the diagnosis. I don't know why, if I was pre-diabetic, but that number just soared, and it was a little shocking. Just for full clarity, my mother's a diabetic, and it's been a major life-changing health issue for her. And so I had, obviously a few days to mull over it because the holidays, it was December 23rd or something, and the holidays were coming, we're busy getting ready for Christmas and celebrations with family and everything. So there wasn't really a lot to do or talk with my doctor about. So we got through the holidays. I did try to start doing some research, very slow starting. YouTube was a big place, and that I went for information. And I just kind of, started delving into, what do you eat? I will tell you that I was extremely overweight and ate very unhealthy. A lot of fast food and snacking, about what you would expect for someone who's a type 2 diabetic. Um, I got there. Primarily from my lifestyle, and so I soon after January, my doctor's office called and wanted to set up a follow-up appointment, and I would go in and we would talk about it. And so between that date and when I went in, which was, several weeks, I think, between Christmas and then, I did start to make changes in my eating. And as with any weight loss, that beginning is always like a rabbit out of the gate kind of thing. So it took off really fast. I think I lost 10 pounds in just a few weeks. And so when I walked into the office, the conversation was about this diabetes and next steps. And I had been doing my homework over those several weeks. And, you see these stories about, you start on these medications, metformin or anything, equivalent to that, things to help you with your insulin. And being a diabetic. And I know people who are diabetic, and they say, they have to adjust their medicines, they have to increase them because they're not as effective. I get that. I'm a sleep insomniac, and so I understand. I take things to help me with sleep, and it just doesn't work as well after a while. You build a tolerance to it, and things have to change. So, but I was doing a lot of listening to people on YouTube and things, and a lot of people talked about how they had made changes in their lifestyle, food, diet, exercise, and they kind of came at it from all sides. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to talk through some of the results and where I'm at now, almost to the day, a year later. Exercise is not something I've made a priority, made time for, and I do have time. There's always time, right? But I haven't done that. So it's been primarily my diet. But I will say, my job is sitting in front of a computer all day. But outside of that, I'm pretty active. I'm on the go a lot, whether it's doing things around the house, doing things outside, gardening and different projects and stuff, chasing my granddaughter around. She's 4. So I have 5 grandchildren, but she's the one who's on the go. So she's 4, and she's quite a lot. So she keeps me, I see her a couple times a week, and she keeps me on the move, which is fun. So I'm not like a sedentary person. I can't even watch a whole show without missing at least 15 minutes of it, because I am always bouncing up and on the move doing things. I like to be busy, especially because I sit and work all day on a computer. And so it was primarily diet, and I kind of stuck with it and started learning. At first I felt like I didn't know what to eat, and I lost a lot of weight early on, and I think it's because I really didn't know what to eat. And so there was a lot of eating the same things, smaller amounts, just because I didn't know what to eat. And so over this year, I will tell you that has grown, and I've really started to kind of figure out things I can eat and more creative, and I get such great ideas from people online. I mean, some of my favorite dishes are from people that I've watched on YouTube, and healthier versions, of things, and it's really been awesome. So I expect that will only grow. There are some really, really very creative people with the food and the recipes, and I will say my diet kind of leans into, it's not 100% keto, but it leans towards that, as I think most diabetic diets, when you are trying to live that diabetic, friendly diet, kind of leans towards that keto lifestyle. And so that's where I've been, and I started on it, but I didn't have a lot of food options at first, because I just didn't really know what to do, what to eat in place of things. So that's gotten a lot better, and I have a lot more options, and I feel like I eat a lot. I feel like I eat a lot. So that's the good news, because I'm never hungry, and I will tell you, when I'm hungry, I eat. It's just what I eat that's different. So I'm going to just kind of run through, where I've been as far as my A1C. I'm not going to talk about my weight, because I don't even tell my husband how much I weigh. So I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh now. I'm not going to tell you how much I weighed then. I will talk a little bit about how much I've lost and some of my BMI numbers, but you can do the math. You probably figure it out. But anyway, yeah, I don't ever talk about my weight. Even when I'm in a good place, I don't. But I'm going to start off. So this was December of 2023. My A1C was 8.1. Really high. Really shockingly high. And I will tell you that I have high blood pressure, and I have almost, I want to say my whole life. I probably low 30s, mid 30s. I've had a high blood pressure for a long time. I've also struggled with weight for a good part of my life. Um, Food is a very emotional thing for me. I love food. I love eating, and it's treating myself, and food is like one of those things I've always like, I just love it. And I have no control. Well, obviously I do, but I always told myself I didn't have control. So I started off 8.1, severely overweight, and my first appointment, that was December 2023, and then my next appointment where they tested my A1C was March of 2024. Now, no medications. I told my doctor I wanted to do lifestyle. She kind of hemmed and hawed at me at first because everyone has great intentions. But I said, well, I've already lost 10 pounds. She looked at my chart. She goes, oh, you have in just a very short few weeks. And I said, I really want to give this a try. I really don't want to go down that path of medication for diabetes until I have to. I mean, there might come a point where diet and exercise just aren't going to do it, and my body's going to need some help, and that's fine. But I'd like to put it off as long as I can. And so that was the plan. And she said, you know what, let's give it a go. And I'm like, yay. I was very pleased. So when I went back in March, my A1C had dropped. This is the most significant drop I had in just those 3 months. It had dropped to 6.4%, 6.4. I don't think it's percent, 6.4. So that was awesome. I was very, very pleased. That was a big move for me. Still, diabetic. I'll always be diabetic, but range for my A1C. And then I went back in June of 2024, and it was down to 6, which was awesome. And I just went for my 1-year annual and had my A1C done. And not as, these are much smaller movement because as you get past those first things, I'm at 5.9. So I'm still not in the non-diabetic range yet. And she said to me, quite honestly, remember when I told you 80% of this is diet? She goes, the other 20% is exercise. Mm-hmm. So I think if I want to get below that 5.7, exercise is going to have to be a part of that. And so I'll talk a little more about that later. But I think I need to just be committed to that. And so, I tried to set reasonable goals over the last year. In 2025, I'm going to have, additional goals and still try to keep moving into that healthy place. And so, now my BMI, this was something she was very excited about it. And I was too. I hadn't realized how high my BMI was until she mentioned what my current BMI was this last visit. She said it was 27.94, which I was like, oh, that's good, right? And she goes, yeah. So I looked it up when I got home, of course, and I knew 25 is, normal range, anything below 25. So I think that's going to be my target in 2025. I'm going to be committed to exercising and making that a part of my life, just like eating healthy. I can, translate that determination over to making sure I'm getting exercise, cardio, and strength building. So that's what my focus is going to be in 2025. And then, but I will tell you what my BMI was in December of 2023. It was 42.5, severely obese. So that was a huge, I was like, wow, I hadn't really been paying attention to that. Obviously, it was high. I probably didn't want to. But I was really pleased with that. I was like, wow. And I wasn't even paying attention or working towards that. So um, imagine if I actually focused on it and did some things to try to get that number down. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see where I am 6 months from now, because I'll have my next appointment in June of 2025. Now, I will say that overall, health-wise, it's been, a great experience for me as far as how I feel, some health issues that, have kind of much better. I don't have as many issues health-wise. I've also had some surprises, things that I didn't expect. And one of them, my cholesterol, it went up a little, and not much. And I had high cholesterol, and I take some cholesterol medication. I can't do statins. I'm allergic to them. I have, the whole throat closing thing go on. So I can't do statins. I found that out the hard way. So I just take like an old school cholesterol pill. But I haven't done the fish oils or any of the, natural things that would, I eat fish, but I'm not a salmon person, so I don't eat like those ones that are high in omega-3. So I have some work to do on cholesterol. So that will be incorporated in my 2025 goals as well. Start looking at those natural supplements that can help you. I have to figure out how to get, obviously when you're doing more keto and, diabetic friendly, you're missing out on a lot of fibers and things that are good for your cholesterol. So not so good for the diabetic side, but I have to figure out a better way to do my replacement beans and leafy greens, and maybe some supplements for fiber. So I have to figure out how to increase that and work on that. So that'll be part of my first 6 months in the new year as well. But overall, I have like a junky knee, and it's better, so much better than it was. It's one of those things that makes perfect sense to me. That I had a little injury, and it's just never been perfect. I have better times, worse times. I have more inflammation, less inflammation. But it's really, I don't even think about it. Every once in a while I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, I have a bum knee kind of thing. Not enough to have surgery or anything, but it's not great kind of thing. So I'm really happy about that. I did have, and I'm not sure why it was triggered after losing weight and everything, but I started having inflammation and joint pain, and my doctor, I talked to her about it, not this last appointment, but one prior, mid-year. And from everything I was telling her, it sounded like osteoarthritis. Not surprising. Arthritis is, something my family has and stuff. So I think she gave me a prescription, but I'm trying. I have to take, I'm genetically high blood pressure, and so I have to manage my blood pressure with multiple medications. And even getting healthier, we've tried lowering doses and things, and my blood pressure goes up. It's a genetic thing for me, and I know this. And so I have to continue those. But I'm trying not to add new medicine. So I started, and my sister has been on me for so long. You have to give up the aspartame. It's an inflammatory. Because my diet, I've done a lot in my diet for inflammation. The foods I eat are very non-inflammatory and actually are good for inflammation and stuff. So she's like, hey, I'm a Diet Coke fiend. I love Diet Coke. I cannot get enough of it. And so I was like, all right, I have to find an alternative. And so I I have to give up the aspartame. I have to give it a try. My sister's been telling me for a long time that this has to happen. You know, you got to give that junk up. It's terrible for you. And so I finally did. I found it's a Harris Teeter brand, oddly enough. Oh, actually, not Harris Teeter, Publix brand. And I get the Diet Cola and caffeine free because I switch over to caffeine free at 5 o'clock. But um, it has made a huge difference. Surprising. I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised at how much of a difference it's made. I don't really have that joint pain. It's manageable. I'm not having to take like Advil or anything like that. It's really been a great experience. So I love my sister anyway. I think she's awesome. But yeah, I was really very, very impressed. I'm like, God, that Mel, she's always right. And it's made a huge difference for me. So I would totally encourage, if you are having inflammation issues and you drink most of the sodas, because I really had to search to find a soda that doesn't have, and I wanted it to taste like Diet Coke. I didn't want to go to bubbly water. I wanted my Diet Coke. I was like, I've given up all my vices. I need something. And so, yeah, I found it, Publix, Diet Coke. I'm going to die if they ever stop making this because I just love it. So, try it. I mean, it's taking something that away from your body and, you know, there's no risk there. You're just getting rid of something you don't need. Oh, I guess, you know, the elephant in the room. My pun. The elephant in the room. How much weight have I lost? So, between my appointment in December, I think it was December 20th, 2023, and my appointment yesterday, December 18th, 2024, I have lost, let me make sure I do the math right. It's over 80. It's like just over 80 pounds. So I've lost about 80 pounds. And that's, you know, in a year, that's great. And I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, that's just great. And I will tell you, initially, you know, the weight loss was, if I lose weight, my diabetes will improve. I had targets in mind. I was doing like old school when you diet. Old school thought, you know, like, oh, I want to hit this, I want to hit that. Probably in those first few months, it was like a big part of it. But I think that's just, you know, old mind think and how you know, are used to approaching. And I knew losing weight was a big part of being able to manage my diabetes. And so, because when you lose that weight, your body functions better. And it has. And you can see going from 8.1 A1C to 5.9. It's a big move and a big shift. But after a while, I wasn't even like, oh, I have a target or a size in mind for my clothes. Actually, my clothes is kind of one of those weird things. I'm sad to see my clothes go because I have like my favorite comfy jeans and I roll them to keep them on. And everyone's like, buy new clothes, buy new clothes. I'm like, but they're my favorite jeans. I have new clothes. I still wear these. So, I'm not a big shopper. I wear blacks, grays. I'm like very adventurous in clothes. It's never been a thing for me. And so I actually don't like to think about it. I'm not a big shopper. I love shopping for gifts for people, but as far as shopping for clothes, I'm so picky. So I'm not like really into that. But I just, you know, as I was going through and changing, the best part for me was I wasn't shooting for a target anymore. I was simply living a lifestyle and making choices about food, and seeing the benefits in how I felt. And so that part of it, when you get past that, I'm trying to lose weight, to I'm um, trying to get to a number. It's very different experience. And so I would say probably the last 6 months, I don't even have a target or a thought about weight loss. It has not been something I think about and keep going. I just want to do well and feel well and put myself in the best place possible with my health and the circumstances that I'm in now. And I think I'm there. I feel good about it. And so I don't, it's not dieting. This is just how I eat. And this is how I'm going to eat. Um, I will tell you that I have a huge attachment to food. And even though it's been a year, and I've told you about the progress I've made, I don't trust myself. And so, my doctor will say to me, it's okay to have a piece of cake on your birthday. It's okay. um, I don't trust myself not to just, if I go to that ledge and I lean over, that I won't just dive into the pool to go all in. So I've been very strict about I'm not eating sugar. I'm not eating, regular breads. I'm not eating pasta. So some things even though, I know there's ways to have that in your life, my connection to food and I don't trust myself that I won't fall deep into that. So I have not done that. I do plan, because I knew I had this appointment and then the holidays were coming, and it was such a different holiday last year. I do plan to partake in a few bites of things and enjoy, that treat kind of thing. My daughter-in-law makes this amazing peach cobbler, and my son makes this ice cream that everyone really liked at the everyone was like, oh my god, that's so good. So that's my plan, that will be my treat. Take a small bit of that peach cobbler and a little bit of that vanilla ice cream, and that's going to be my thing on Christmas. So I'm excited about that. And I will tell you that the other problem I've had, and this is, if you're a guy, you probably want to cut out of this, but some of you as women will understand. I'm fairly large chested, and I think I'm older now than I was, 10 years ago or whenever I was weighed less. Because I will tell you, when COVID came and we were stuck at home, that was rough on me because I work from home. And then we were, so restricted after we got, because, I like to be on the go. I gained weight. And I think a lot of people gained weight during that time. But prior to that, it's been 5 years. I gave up smoking. And so I put some weight on then. And so it's just kind of piled on. And you just, you're gaining weight, but it's just these little bits and you just keep going. So it's been a while since I have been smaller. And this time, I think because I'm older, I've had some really bad back pain, especially in my upper back, right in the middle. And I think what it was is just proportionately my body wasn't supporting. You lose weight when you lose 80 pounds, 80, 90 pounds. You lose weight, but you don't typically lose as far as a ratio as much in your chest as you do in the rest of your body. And I don't think I have the muscles that I had 10 years ago um, to support. And so I was having severe back pain in my center back. I was doing stretches, I was doing push-ups, I was doing all these things to strengthen my muscles. And my sister was like, "You got to do your core. Your core is." I'm like, "You're right. I do have to do my core." Um, so that has been one of the downsides effects that I've had. And although I will say that someone suggested to me um, a minimizer that distributes the weight, minimizer bra distributes the weight out differently and puts less of that strain in that one area of your back. And I think it was my daughter-in-law who did that. And I did actually purchase minimizer bra, and it has helped. It really has helped. So distributing that weight just spread it out a little, because you know what a minimizer bra does to you, has helped. So if any of you have that, just keep that in mind. But for the most part, it's just been positive, awesome life feelings. And so I just wanted to take a minute, share, and I hope this helps someone. I'm not really talking about, what I eat. I do follow, it's not strict keto, but it's on the same, plane. What I eat and stuff. And I will tell you, I'm a very picky eater. So that hasn't been easy for me because, you try to figure out, and there's things you just won't. Very texture kind of thing. But I hope to share more, maybe a day in the life, what I eat video or something. Maybe some recipes, some of my favorites. Because I know I really enjoyed when I watch some people and they're usually keto, in their recipes. And some of my favorite things have come from recipes on YouTube. So I'll probably try to share a couple of those recipes. And, I just want to I want to encourage people, and I wanted to share my experience because it had that support, even though you don't know the person, that support of, watching them and the things they've done, and how they've approached it, and their ideas for food was huge for me because I felt like I wasn't eating. Now I feel like I never stop eating, but it's made a huge difference for me. So I thought, well, I should do a video, kind of share my story, my story of, the last year with diabetes, being diagnosed with diabetes, and kind of living a healthier lifestyle, at least my food. I feel like I have a lot of work to do with the exercise part, but it's been a great experience, and I hope I can support and encourage you to think about it and don't be overwhelmed. That was my biggest thing. It was so overwhelming in the beginning. Just do one thing at a time, and I hope this video helps. And please like, subscribe, and feel free to shoot comments. I would love to hear your story, things you've done, and things that have helped you. Share them with, others and me. I would love to see those comments. So thank you, and have a great day. Take care.